Hello, I'm Richard Chambers, President and CEO of the Institute of Internal Auditors, and welcome to my continuing video series, Insights and Advice, where I examine important issues related to internal audit and risk management and governance, including those related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, I'm joined by Liz Sandwith, Chief Professional Practices Advisor to the Chartered Institute of Internal Auditors UK and Ireland. Liz is a professional advisor in internal audit, risk management, and assurance compliance. She has been deeply involved in developing internal audit plans that build on the knowledge of market sectors and the risks and challenges faced by organizations, including local authorities, government departments, financial services, and broadcasting. Liz also provides assurance to audit committees regarding governance, risk, and controls. Liz, welcome, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you very much for inviting me today. I'm looking forward to our chat.
Now, Liz, we've been hearing from professionals from around the world about what's happening in internal audit within their markets, but we haven't heard from the UK before, so it's going to be very interesting, I know, to our viewers from wherever they may be in the world, to hear a little bit more about what's happening to internal audit in the United Kingdom and Ireland. One of the most important and mature markets for internal audit in the world. So let me start. I'd like to ask you first, rather than looking at COVID-19 as only a challenge, and certainly not to take away from any of the terrible harm that's been inflicted, but what do you believe would be some of the opportunities this pandemic has offered for the internal audit profession?
Good question, Richard. Absolutely, the pandemic has been devastating across everyone, every sector, every country across the globe. But I think it's been a real game changer for internal audit. It has provided an opportunity for the profession to collaborate, to share ideas, as we have sought to across all of the sectors, and work closely with each other to face the challenges and also to come up with some solutions. And we have had a great opportunity in the UK through our Heads of Internal Audit weekly virtual forum that has been attended by heads of audit from all sectors. And one of the things I think that has surprised me has been the commonality across sectors of some of the issues. So redeployment, furloughing, etc., and how internal auditors face those difficult challenges. So what are the offers, what are the opportunities that have been presented? Well, I think one of the things is that we have had the opportunity to build closer working relationships with our audit committee chairs, perhaps speaking to them on a regular basis. We've had the opportunity, as you said recently, to roll our sleeves up and get stuck in at first line, helping the business maintain its sustainability. Is it going to exist in 6 months? Well, we're here to help. And I think that sits as well under our mission statement. We've also been able to support the businesses at second line where there's been government initiatives, be it furlough claims, be it loans, government-backed loans, to provide real-time assurance, to help the organisation in terms of putting in new processes very fast and then making sure that the controls are in place and the risks are being appropriately mitigated. And a great example of that, a head of audit gave me the example of processing grant claims for members of the community, businesses. And she was saying the government issued a report and they were in the top 3 for the speed of processing. And she smiled and she said, I knew the organisation was good, but we're not that good. So she said immediately it raised a red flag for me. We must be missing something in our processing. Maybe our controls are not there, our checks and balances. So I think there's been massive opportunity. And one of the things I would really hope is that we don't lose this opportunity moving forward.
Some great insights. Yeah, thank you. You know, an entirely different kind of opportunity, or at least fueled by this crisis, has been the area of fraud and cyber threats. I guess my question would be to you, What role does internal audit play during this heightened period of vulnerability when it comes to cybersecurity and potential use of those tools for fraud?
I think that's a challenging area for organizations. And one of the things that, we're inundated at the moment with data from a variety of different sources. And I saw something that indicated that phishing emails had gone up 667% in the first sort of 6 weeks since lockdown. And I think that is criminals capitalizing on the fact that people are working remotely, perhaps security because it happened very fast, perhaps security in terms of access to organizations' networks, etc., hasn't been as rigorous as perhaps it might be. So I see our role as internal audit in alerting the business to fraud risk. Where is it? Where is the highest area of fraud risk within your organization? So, look at the airline and travel companies processing all of those refunds to people, individuals who are asking for their money back. It's all right to have a process that deals with a refund or several hundred refunds perhaps, but when you start dealing with millions of refunds, there is a real risk that perhaps controls will be circumvented. So we have a role to help there, to highlight high risk areas, to make sure that we have strong processes in place, good controls, but also I think there's an ongoing message to all staff who are working remotely, and we can help with that messaging to remind them to be mindful of the remote environment, the messages that they receive, emails they receive, and if they are not sure, to check with a colleague, rather than just assume everything is fine. And also, whatever you do, don't download applications and software with the right intentions, but it may compromise the security of your organization.